says you want to find the POI. Right? This is considered solving. It's considered solving because it works for both equations. Okay? So, we have a problem looking at this equation, and this is why I've picked this one. Right off the top, I don't see anything explicitly in terms of x equals a bunch of stuff or y equals a bunch of stuff. That's the problem, because you can't take it and plug it into the other equation, right? That's a problem, but it's a solvable problem, right? You can always make something equal to the rest by getting one thing by itself on one side. And you're going to pick the thing that's easiest to do that. If I look at this equation, that looks like a disaster, right? For me to get one of these two variables by themselves would be it's crazy hard to do that. Not crazy hard, but it's doable, but it's going to be a mess. But if I look at the second equation, it looks like I could get the x by itself by just creating a zero pair here with this negative 2y. So just do that. Add 2y. If you do it to the left, you better do it to the right. And what you're going to get is you're going to get x equals 1 plus 2y. Right, that's like a red triangle is equal to 1 plus 2 blue squares. What can you do with this now? Well, I'm going to erase some... It looks like, why can't you take the x value and plug it in right there? You know what it's worth. It's 1 plus 2y. Right? You say, okay, that 1 plus 2y is going in where that red x is, right? There's no longer going to be an x there. It's going to be 1 plus 2y instead. That's what's going to happen, because it told you that x was equal to that. That's called substitution. Right? Okay, fine. Here's what you're doing. You're going to rewrite this equation here. 5x, I'll rewrite it. Right? And then when you go to write it again, you're going to replace, there's no longer going to be an x there. It's going to take this instead. Right? So you're going to write, okay, 5, open a bracket. What goes in? 1 plus 2y. Why does that go there? Because x equals 1 plus 2y plus another 2y equals 11. Next step, get rid of those brackets. How do I get rid of the brackets? You can do a table. I'm going to show you. You guys don't have, hopefully I'll get you away from the table maybe. You can use the table always. So you get 5 plus 10y. That's going to replace all of this. Okay, another way to look at that is, if you guys want to speed it up without actually doing the table, 5 times 1, 5 times 2y. This is called distribution. And you're distributing the 5 into both things that are inside of that bracket. Okay, both will give you 5 plus 10y. We show you the table so that you know that there has to be two things that gets multiplied in there. What kids like to do sometimes is just they multiply it into the first one and then leave it. Right? The table does not allow you to do that. You're always going to have the two things because it has to be multiplied by both things inside that bracket. Okay? And so you're just going to keep going. You're going to do the math. So it's going to go 5 plus 10y plus 2y equals 11. What you'll notice, and what I'm drawing your attention to, in this statement, there are no x's there anymore. So for you to solve this, you're going to solve for y. That's what substitution allows you to do. You substitute, which gets rid of one of the variables so that you can solve for the other one. That's what substitution does. Okay? So, how do we solve? Now we're back to Monday. How do we solve? Get all the similar terms on one side. Like all the rods on one side. And get all the numbers on the other. Okay? So I want the red pieces on one side and the blue pieces on the other. How do I do that? Well, this is a plus 5. It's positive there. So subtract 5 from both sides. That's a 0 pair. And you're going to get 10y plus 2y is equal to 11 minus 5. Right? You're going to see, okay, 12y is equal to 11 minus 5 should be 6. Right? Divide both sides by 12. You get y equals 1 over 2. Okay? Or 1/2. Now, again, I don't necessarily like working with the decimals for these. Okay? I want to leave them in fractions, right? But now I'm going to shrink this because I don't need it as much now. Okay? What you're going to do now, you know what y is equal to. Let me pick a different color. You know what y is equal to. Where is there a y? You could pick either of the original two questions. Yeah, I like picking the easy one. Right? So it told you, you know what y is. You have an equation that you're obviously, if you know what one of them is, you want to find the other one. Well, you have an equation because you did the work initially that tells you what 1x is equal to. So you say, okay, that's fine. I'm going to take my y value and I'm going to plug it in right there. And so x is going to equal 1 plus 2y, and then you're going to replace the y with what it was equal to. X equals 1 plus 2 times 1/2. X equals 1 plus 2 times 1/2 is going to be 1. And x is equal to 2. And so you can now state your point of intersection as being 2 and 1/2. You always go x and then y.